Alex and Tyler. Imagine this. Alex and Tyler are students at the same university. Alex studies for just 40 minutes a day. He sleeps well, plays basketball with his friends, and still ranks at the top of his class. His secret? He quizzes himself with practice questions and explains concepts to his classmates in super simple ways. Tyler, on the other hand, studies for 6 hours daily, stays up all night, fueled by energy drinks, and barely sees his friends. Yet, he struggles to get C's. His notes are beautiful, and his study schedule is color-coded to perfection. So, what's the difference? It's not intelligence, hard work, or luck. It's how they study. If you're ready to stop wasting time and start studying like Alex, stay with me. This video will show you how to study smart. And if you're excited to transform your study game, join our community by subscribing. I've got tons of powerful tips waiting for you. Challenge your memory. Wait, before we go further, I've got a quick challenge for you. Think about the last time you studied for an exam. How many minutes of that study session actually felt effective? Be honest and drop the number in the comments. By the end of this video, we'll find out if you're really using your time wisely or if it's time to flip the script. How many times have you spent hours organizing your notes or rereading the same page, only to realize you barely remember anything afterward? I call this the illusion of hard work. The secret isn't in how many hours you study, it's in how much actually sticks in your brain after you close the book. Think of your brain like a phone with a bad battery. No matter how many times you charge it by rereading or cramming, it just won't hold the charge. After hours of studying, you check still at 10%. Research shows that passive studying, like rereading notes, leaves you with less than 15% of the info after a few days. The fix? Repair the battery with active techniques that lock the knowledge in, like a fast, efficient charger. One sec, my coffee's calling me. You should grab your favorite drink. Let's keep going. The retention ladder. Picture a ladder that represents levels of learning. Each step shows how much you'll actually remember. Bottom step, reading or listening, 10 to 20% retention, like reading a book or watching a lecture. Middle step, discussion or interactive watching, 30 to 50%, like debating an idea with a friend. Top step, applying and teaching, 70 to 90%, like solving problems or explaining a concept to someone else. To reach the top, you need active techniques. Here are 3 science-backed methods to study smarter.
Method 1. Active recall. Don't start by reviewing your notes. Test yourself first. Close the book and try to write down everything you remember about the topic. The harder it feels, the more your memory grows. It's like weightlifting for your brain. Studies show active recall can boost grades by up to 40% for students who use it. Method 2. Spaced repetition. Your brain forgets fast if you don't review, but you don't have to review everything daily. Use spaced repetition. Review information at specific intervals to strengthen memory. Example: Day 1. Learn something new. Day 2. Quick review, 5 minutes. Day 5. Test yourself without notes. This works against the forgetting curve and can raise retention to 80%. Tyler could have saved hours if he used this instead of cramming. Method 3. The associative learning technique. Connecting information to your social media experience. Make the information part of your personal story so you can always remember it. For example, if you are studying the mere exposure effect in psychology, which means you tend to like something more the more you see it. Think about an ad or a story you saw on Instagram. Did you notice how you started thinking about buying a pair of sneakers after seeing them in your friends' stories many times? That's the effect. This technique makes the information like a story your brain cannot ignore. When you connect information to your personal experience, it stays engraved in your memory. Here's the real secret. Studying smarter can get you better grades in less time. Sounds strange, but it's true. When I use these methods, I cut my study time from 6 hours to under 2, and went from a C to an A. Back to your challenge. Look at the number you wrote in the comments earlier. Was your study time actually productive? If you're relying on passive reading or cramming, it's time to change. Drop a comment. Which of these methods was your favorite? Thanks for watching. If this video inspired you to upgrade your study game, hit like and subscribe to join our journey to smarter learning. Share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, go master your studies.
Have you ever felt like 90% of what you read just evaporates from your mind within 24 hours? Frustrating, right? Now imagine having a super memory, one that lets you remember every lesson or book with ease. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 powerful science-backed hacks that will turn your brain into an unforgettable vault. And the best part? At the end, I'll give you the secret code that can unlock any piece of information in seconds, even months later. Ready? Let's dive in. Hack 1. Active reading. Reading isn't just scanning words, it's a mental adventure. With active reading, you become a detective, searching for hidden gems in the text. Understand the content, then ask yourself, what's the main idea? Or, how does this connect to what I already know? Use a highlighter to mark one key sentence per paragraph. This wakes up your brain and helps the info stick like a buried treasure map. Quick application. If you're reading about the Industrial Revolution, ask, what made it a revolution? Then highlight something like production shifted from manual labor to machines. That laser focus keeps your brain sharp and distraction-free. Now that your brain is activated, let's make things visual and fun. Hack 2. Visual mapping, mind maps. Imagine drawing a roadmap for your brain. That's what a mind map is. Start with a blank page, draw a central circle for your main topic, then branch out ideas using different colors. This triggers dual encoding. Your brain stores info both visually and mentally, making it easier to retrieve later. Give it a shot. For a history lesson, draw a circle labeled World War II, then add branches like 1939, Axis in red, and Allies in blue. Suddenly, your memory isn't flat text, it's a vivid, living network. Now that we've organized the knowledge, let's boost it with the power of sound. Hack 3. Active audio recording. Close the book, it's time for a voice adventure. Hit record and start explaining the lesson out loud, once using your mind map and once without. This is called active recall, and it strengthens memory pathways as your brain works harder to retrieve the info. Listen back later and you'll be amazed how much sticks. Try this out. After mapping the Industrial Revolution, record yourself saying, it began with the shift to machines around 1760. Repeat a couple of times and your voice will turn the lesson into a lasting memory. After boosting recall, let's see how to make that memory stick long term. Hack 4. Spaced repetition. Think of memory like building a house. You don't do it all at once. Spaced repetition means reviewing information at increasing intervals to lock it into long-term memory instead of cramming. Simple example. If you study a chemistry lesson today, review it tomorrow for 10 minutes, then 5 minutes 2 days later, and again a week later. Imagine molecules dancing, and your brain will remember them as a story, not just facts. Now that you've mastered the foundations, let's unlock the ultimate trick. Hack 5. The secret code. Here it is, the secret code I promised you. After using the previous hacks, create a final memory sheet, a single-page summary of the entire lesson without going back to the book. Add key points or a mini mind map. Keep it with you. Whenever you need a refresh, glance at it. Or better yet, listen to your recording. You'll recall everything in a flash, even months later. Simple example, for the Industrial Revolution, write 1760, machines, factories, on a small card. Look at it daily for 1 minute and listen to your voice recording when needed. That's how you turn facts into unshakable memory. And if you want to boost your memory even more, teach what you've learned to a friend to fill in any gaps in your understanding. And don't forget to share this video with them so they can benefit too. Now you've got 5 memory hacks and the secret code to remember everything you read. Try one today and let me know in the comments which one you'll start with. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and take that small step today. It could lead to big results tomorrow. Goodbye, learning friends. Stay curious and productive.
Big one. Maybe it's building a business. Maybe it's leveling up your fitness. Maybe it's just breaking free from the cycle of procrastination that keeps you stuck. But then, something happened. Your brain betrays you. You sit down to focus, and suddenly you're scrolling TikTok. You want to eat clean, but your hand magically finds the chips. You promise yourself you'll wake up early, but the snooze button wins every battle. And here's the wild part. It's not your fault. Your brain, the very thing you rely on to make decisions, take action, and create your future, is also the thing sabotaging you. Why? Because no one ever taught you how to use it. Think about it. School taught you how to solve equations, memorize dates, write essays, but it never taught you how to fight procrastination, control your focus, or master your emotions. It never gave you the user manual for your own brain. And that's why most people are stuck. They're walking around with the most powerful machine on earth, the human mind, but they're running it on factory settings. But you're about to learn the upgrades. Because today I'm going to reveal the psychological hacks that schools never mention, but that can completely change how you think, act, and succeed. These aren't random tips. They're brain-based shortcuts backed by psychology and neuroscience tools that can help you outsmart your worst habits and finally take control of your mind. If you apply these, you won't just beat procrastination. You won't just stop overthinking. You'll unlock a version of yourself most people never get to see. So let's dive in. Hack Hash 1. Outsmart procrastination with a 2-minute trick. We've all been there. You have a task, and instead of doing it, you avoid it. You check your phone, you grab a snack. You convince yourself you'll start later. But here's the truth. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's your brain trying to avoid discomfort. Psychologists call this task avoidance when your brain links a task to pain, fear, or boredom. It pushes you to escape. Here's the hack. Shrink the task until your brain has no reason to resist. Tell yourself, I'll just do this for 2 minutes. 2 minutes of writing, 2 minutes of cleaning, 2 minutes of study. What happens? Once you start, momentum kicks in. You trick your brain into bypassing resistance and entering flow. Think of it like starting a car on a cold morning. The hardest part is turning the key. But once the engine's running, you can go anywhere. The 2-minute trick outscores procrastination every time. Because instead of fighting your brain head on, you're sneaking past its defenses. Hack Hash 2. Outsmart distractions with the one screen. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're not smart enough. They fail because they're too distracted. Notifications, social media, endless tabs. Your brain wasn't designed to juggle things. Research shows every time you switch tasks, your brain wastes up to 23 minutes refocusing. Imagine how much time you're losing every single day. Here's the hack. The one screen. One task, one screen, one focus. If you're studying, no phone nearby. If you're working, no second screen running YouTube in the background. When your brain knows there's only one option in front of it, something amazing happens. It adapts. Distractions vanish. Focus sharpens. It's like training a wild horse. At first it resists, but with consistency, it learns discipline. One screen, one task, one sharp brain. Hack Hash 3. Outsmart overthinking with the parking lot method. Ever tried to focus, but your brain keeps throwing random thoughts at you? What if I fail? Did I text them back? Don't forget the laundry. This is overthinking your brain's attempt to keep everything active so you don't forget. But instead of helping, it paralyzes you. Here's the hack. The parking lot method. Keep a notebook or note app open. Every time a thought pops up, park it by writing it down. That's fine. Psychologists call this an offloading strategy. When your brain knows the thought is stored somewhere safe, it relaxes. The mental load disappears. Suddenly, your mind feels lighter. You've cleared mental space to actually focus on what matters. You're not fighting your brain, you're giving it reassurance. And that tiny shift can save you hours of wasted mental energy. Hack Hash 4. Outsmart laziness with the environment switch. Laziness isn't about who you are. It's about where you are. Picture this. You're lying on your bed with your laptop. Are you really going to write that essay, or are you going to slide into Netflix? Your environment triggers your behavior. That's why you eat in the kitchen, sleep in the bedroom, and watch TV in the living room. Here's the hack. Change your environment to change your actions. Need to study? Sit at a desk with nothing but your notes. Need to work out? Put on gym clothes and step outside. Need to brainstorm? Grab a notebook and walk to a coffee shop. Your brain links locations with habits. When you switch environments, you break old patterns and create new ones. You don't need more willpower. You need better cues. Hack Hash 5. Outsmart stress with the name it to tame it trick. Stress destroys focus. It hijacks your nervous system, floods you with cortisol, and makes even simple tasks feel impossible. But here's something powerful. Labeling your emotions reduces their power. Psychologists call this affect labeling. When you feel anxious, simply saying, this is anxiety, this is stress, this is fear, calms the amygdala, the fear center of your brain. Why? Because once you label the feeling, Your brain moves it from the emotional center to the rational center. You've taken the chaos and put it into words. Suddenly, it's not an overwhelming storm, it's just anxiety. And now, you can handle it. Hack hash 6. Outsmart forgetfulness with the hook method. You read something, you learn something, and then 2 days later, it's gone. And that's because your brain doesn't store information randomly. It stores it through connections. Here's the hack. Always hook new information to something you already know. If you meet someone named Rose, imagine them holding a rose. If you learn a new fact, connect it to a story, a joke, or a visual image. This is how memory champions remember decks of cards, not by brute force, but by making connections. Your brain is like Velcro. The more hooks, the more it sticks. Hack hash 7. Outsmart negative self-talk with the third person shift. We all have that inner voice that says, you're not good enough, you're going to fail. Why even try? But here's the truth. That voice isn't you. It's just old programming. Here's the hack. Talk to yourself in third person. Instead of, I can't do this. Let's say, you've got this. You've handled this. Keep going. Psychologists call this distance self-talk. It creates space between you and the negative voice, allowing you to see it objectively. It's the same reason coaches don't say, I can do this. They say, you can do this, because hearing it from the outside hits differently. So next time self-doubt shows up, flip the script. Outsmart that voice by turning it into a coach, not a critic. Hack hash 8. Outsmart average thinking with the opposite daily. Most people live on autopilot. They follow the crowd. They take the safe option. But here's the problem. If you think like everyone else, you'll live like everyone else. Here's the hack. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would the average person do? Then consider doing the opposite. Most people waste hours scrolling, log off and build something. Most people hit snooze, wake up and get ahead. Most people spend money to impress, save and invest. The opposite path feels uncomfortable, but that's the point. Growth never hides where comfort is. This doesn't mean blindly rebel against everything. It means train your brain to question default choices. That habit alone can outsmart mediocrity and put you on the 1% path. Climax. Your brain can be your prison or your superpower. Here's the truth. Your brain will either be your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. Left on factory settings, it will trap you in procrastination, distraction, overthinking, and fear. But upgraded with the right hacks, it can make you unstoppable. You don't need more motivation. You don't need to try harder. You need to outsmart the very system that's been holding you back. Every time you use one of these hacks, you're rewiring your brain. Every time you take action, you're breaking free from average. Every time you outsmart your mind, you step closer to the life most people will never taste. Call to action. So here's your challenge. Don't just listen. Apply one of these hacks today. Outsmart your procrastination. Outsmart your distractions. Outsmart the part of your brain that wants to keep you safe and small. Because the truth is, nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's going to reprogram your brain for you. It's on you. And the moment you take control, everything changes. If this video helped you see your brain differently, share it with someone who needs it. And if you're serious about becoming unstoppable, make sure you subscribe because I've got more strategies coming that school never dared to teach you. Your brain is powerful, but only if you take the wheel. So don't just live on autopilot. Outsmart it.